finished up to 17th aphorism, and today's class we are going to do about 18th, 19th aphorism and about H.A. Roberts' view on vital force and Ken's view on vital force. So about 18th aphorism. 18th aphorism is about vital force and choice of remedy. So the deranged vital force expresses in the form of signs and symptoms. So sum of all signs and symptoms and conditions are the sole indication for choice of remedy. So why is that I have made this? That is sum of signs and symptoms and conditions. Because you have to, why I highlighted that point, because you have to realize that when patient comes to you, it is not about only single system. He may have some problem with respiratory system, meningitis system and headache, and so he may have a group of 8 to 10 symptoms and conditions, different conditions. Diabetes, migraine, hypertension, so many diseases together. So sum of all these is the sole indication of choice of remedy. Now, is this aphorism important? This aphorism is important. I will tell you why. You have to understand it's a small aphorism, but of late I have been seeing that the newer generations of doctors, homeopathic doctors who are coming out and practicing, they come out with a very wrong concept. When you are learning in your college, of course we tell you to take the case in detail and take the constitution also. But what mistakes the newcomer ends up with, is a mistake that he takes all the constitution plus the signs and symptoms and everything together and tries to find out a simillimum. That is the biggest mistake you do. Hahnemann throughout his initial and later aphorisms also has been focusing that the sole indication of choice of remedy is what? Is the signs and symptoms and the conditions. It is not your constitution. So with this you may think that am I mad that I am telling you don't take constitution? No. You have to understand that constitution is important. But you take the constitution and you keep it aside. You treat first with the signs and symptoms and the conditions. And when the patient gets better, then it is the time to choose or treat the fundamental cause of the disease. Now this fundamental cause of the disease or the miasm, how do you treat it? You treat it with finding out the constitution, that is constitutional medicine. If you mix up the patient's constitution and all the signs and symptoms of the patient, you end up in chaos. And then you will be blaming that homeopathy does not act and medicines don't act, and that whatever we learned in our college is of no use. You have to understand that Hahnemann has told what is the choice of remedy, signs and symptoms and the conditions. He didn't tell here constitution. Why he didn't tell constitution? Because he himself knows that this is the sole indication of choice of remedy. After the patient gets better, then you have a chronic miasm lurking in the background, or you have the tendency to produce the disease again. That is when you give a constitutional medicine, not before that. Okay, so I think I have made myself clear in this point so that you don't face any difficulties when you practice. So 18th aphorism, 19th aphorism. Normally you don't see me with the organon book, but you can see me this time because as I told you, mucking up is not my style. But then why I am taking the book? Because in 19th aphorism, Hahnemann has defined Disease, cure and medicine. So, what is disease? Diseases are alterations in state of health of the healthy individual which expresses by morbid signs. I have explained in earlier class also, morbid means diseased, okay? So, morbid signs. So, that is about disease. Then comes about cure. So, what is cure? Cure is change to the healthy condition of the state of the health of the diseased individual. Kindly bear with my short forms, otherwise it will take longer time. Then he defines medicines. Medicines are the ones which can cure diseases if they possess the power of altering man's state of health, which depends on sensations and functions. So, as this is stretched a lot, this class will be getting over here, and I'll tell you about the Roberts view and Kent's view in the next class. So, stay tuned for more.